I'm with lawyer Milena Cardinal here in Cornwall, Ontario. And Ms. Cardinal, you've made us aware of practices that certain retailers are doing that are very, very scary for the victims and potentially very, very lucrative for the department stores. Can you explain a little bit about this practice?
Yes, well, when either minor theft is committed, such as theft of a pair of sunglasses or things like that, but even in cases where there's a misunderstanding related to a pricing or something like that, the retailers tend to sometimes hire law firms or do it themselves, send letters to the persons who have allegedly stolen. There doesn't even have to be actual criminal charges.
No conviction.
No
charges.
Conviction. Yes, nothing like that. And they will claim damages in the amount of $500, $600, $700, claiming that they're entitled to do so. And while they are entitled to send letters and ask for whatever they want, the people who do receive these letters are certainly not entitled or not obligated to pay these amounts unless ordered by a court to do that.
But to the average person, they get a letter in the mail from a lawyer's firm with very threatening terms and language. I'm sure a percentage of people immediately pay out of fear, and then other ones go through angst and distress and a lot of worry over something that just doesn't seem fair. I mean, imagine shoplifting a $25 item and then getting a bill for $700. It doesn't make sense.
Absolutely. And a lot of people do just believe, because it's written on a lawyer's letterhead, that they are obligated to pay this amount, and they are not. I would certainly recommend that they seek the advice of counsel at that point, because different circumstances can, they might have different avenues open to them, but certainly they're not obligated to pay that amount. The company itself has to prove, first of all, that they were at fault, which means that whenever they go after family members, such as the parents of a youth who has stolen a $5 item, for example, they go after the parents and the parents feel obligated to pay. There is no such obligation, so the person has to have committed some kind of fault.
When someone gets a letter like this, do they have any recourse? I mean, can they just ignore it? Can they take an action against the companies that do this? Does there need to be some consumer law? Do they go to the Better Business Bureau?
What I would recommend is just consult a lawyer. I mean, obviously, there are some circumstances in which these damages can legitimately be claimed. I mean, but definitely I would recommend that that these people seek the advice of a lawyer. The other thing too is that the law is clear that the company that is making a claim for damages has to prove that the person is at fault and that there are actual damages in the amount that they're claiming.
Right.
If we're talking about a $12 pair of sunglasses that has been returned, the argument can definitely be made that there were no damages at all. Never mind something in the amount of $500, $600, $700. The other thing is when youth get charged with a minor theft in a store such as Zellers or Walmart or the Bay. Oftentimes the parents receive this letter, and the person who is at fault would be the youth. And usually as part of the court proceedings, restitution is ordered if the items weren't recovered. And so definitely the person who is responsible for repaying that would be the person who has stolen once it has been proven that the person has in fact stolen. It should definitely not be the parents. And the parents, there is no recourse against the parents except sending a threatening letter, which is why they do it, because they know that.
From your initial research, how widespread is this practice?
Very, very. I would say that pretty much every single time there is theft, an allegation of theft, a belief that maybe there has been a theft, or even a misunderstanding as of pricing. Systematically, these letters are sent. I mean, I've yet to hear of a case where they haven't been. I'm sure it happens, but I've actually also heard of cases where a person commits a theft and the person who is with them also gets this threatening letter. Even though the person who was with them didn't commit any offense or didn't.
Now, how do they know who the people are? The people have to give the retailer their information or their contact info.
Oftentimes they're apprehended in the store, and yes, they will provide it to the security that's in the store. But it's not every time someone makes an allegation that a person is actually guilty of a crime. I mean,
Right.
it has to be substantiated, and we're talking about companies who just systematically send it.
Yeah, form letter.
Yeah, that's my understanding of it, is that these letters are boilerplate.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.